Hey folks, welcome to another VR video. Today I'm playing Skytrek by Wings Games. Now this is done by a single developer. It makes an interesting use of the Oculus Gear VR controller. And I'm just going to fly a mission here. We're going to go to, it looks like Rome will be our next destination here. So what's really cool about this application is it's not really a flight simulator per se, but it does have kind of a free flight mechanism where you're steering using the controller, turning to the left or to the right, banks the plane left or right, raising the controller up will increase your altitude, lowering it decreases your altitude. But what's cool is you have kind of a set flight pattern for every one of these missions. I have not done Rome yet, but I'm interested to do Rome because this will take me to San Francisco, which is actually near where I am. It's not photogrammetry. It's a 3D mapping program called WRLD was engaged in this from what I've read. But this is a really cool flight simulator, and there are multiple planes as well. This is the civil aircraft, which is the second plane you can unlock. You start out with just a yellow biplane. And off in the distance over there you can see a marker. It's marked with a star on the map in front of me as well, where it says the Colosseum is my next destination. Now I can decrease or increase the throttle using the touchpad. So as you can see, it's not the greatest graphics, not super high def or anything of that nature, but it's a pretty cool free fly simulator. Takeoff and landing are automatic, but steering you can go over the ground. And if you remember back to the 90s or 80s, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator wasn't that detailed either. And what's cool about this particular experience is there are some set experiences, but it can really map anywhere in the world as you're going, which is really cool. So right now I'm headed toward Rome. I'm about 10 kilometers out. And you can see the city starting to develop around me. Now I've not been to Rome. Never really left the United States except to go to Canada. But I flew through both London and New York, and what's really cool is you're actually flying past some of their really famous landmarks as you go. Now this app is a gallery app for Gear VR. Gallery apps are the slightly less finished or polished applications on the Oculus Home storefront. You can see that it's not super polished, but it's really fun. And you know, I can't say it tests the power of the Gear VR, but this looks pretty darn good for a Gear VR title. So we're headed toward the Colosseum right now. I'm going to drop just slightly lower so you can see it a little bit better. Of course, as I drop lower, speed goes a little bit slower as well. Look at that. That's the Colosseum back there. As I get closer and closer, you'll get more and more detail. I don't know. As somebody that's really enjoyed games like Eagle Flight, this is pretty sweet. Just being able to fly around a city like this. So, looks like I need to increase my altitude and turn around a bit. Let's get to the next destination. Altair della Patria. And it looks like I've already reached that destination without seeing it, but there it is right below me. Nice. Sweet. Now I'm not sure where I'm headed next. Vatican City. Cool. So again, not photogrammetry, not super polished, but I'm having a ton of fun flying around. Now flying toward Vatican City. And this one's a few bucks. This is $3.99. But there's a lot to unlock. I'd say I've probably played for about an hour so far. I've done some free flying. I've done... This is my third sort of mission. And there are, I believe, 6 missions total. And there are, I think, 4 or 5 planes you can unlock, too. This is the second one. This is a civil aircraft. First one, again, was a biplane. The last one is a private jet. And then there's a private plane, like a corporate plane as well, in the midst there. So this is the Stadio Olimpico. We'll just do one more here. Fly to the other airport. Ciampino Airport. To land. So I took a quick tour around Rome, Italy. And Vatican City. To be fair, Vatican City is its own little country, actually. So this is playable, from what I understand, without the Gear VR controller, but I kind of prefer steering with it. It's given me a pretty good use for the Gear VR controller. There's not a lot of apps that take full advantage of the controller. This one, using the gyroscope for the most part, is pretty creative. I might need to increase my altitude a bit so I can speed up slightly. Otherwise, this 11.7 kilometers might take a while. But again, just looking down and seeing kind of the city and the landmarks around you, it's pretty immersive, it's pretty cool. And it feels a lot like old school flight sims. But without the messy controls. One of the things that I was very good at doing with flight simulators is crashing them. With this, you really can't crash. If you go a little too low in the ground, it bugs out a bit, but you can't crash. Now, this being a gallery app, oh darn. This being a gallery app, the gameplay is not super polished. There are still some bugs. It's kind of like an early access title if you use Steam VR, or Oculus Home for that matter if you use the early access section. I have reported a couple of bugs to the developer. One of them was when I did the New York mission. It actually had this like icon that came up on the screen in front of me that actually blocked the map, and I couldn't stop that from... I couldn't make it go away. So the rest of my New York trip was just blocked. I could see around me, but I couldn't see the map to see where the next destination was. Added a bit to the challenge that I'm sure was not the intent. And now the automatic landing has been engaged. And I hope folks enjoyed this quick flight around Rome. I'm excited because the next map is actually San Francisco. Because I got the Gear VR heat up warning, though, I'm going to have to adjourn for now. But hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more content soon. And again, I've been kind of gone for a while. A number of personal reasons for that, but I'm happy to be back, happy to be sharing VR. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself, whether you have a Gear VR, a PC VR system, a Daydream, a cardboard, or you just want to go to Best Buy and try something out. That's totally fine. PSVR as well. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself, and thanks for watching.